It's not your fault your content isn't converting. It was never designed to in the first place. So let's just name it. You've been doing what you're supposed to be doing, right? Posting all the time, being visible, showing up, but deep down, you still feel like no one's actually seeing you. And it's because you're not fully being felt. And that's exactly why selling feels so uncomfortable because when you're not rooted in your truth, your message is still wrapped in performance or pressure, and selling feels cringy. But what if it didn't have to? What if you could sell without sounding salesy, without chasing, and without ever leaving your truth? And that's what we're talking about today. Authentic marketing for spiritual entrepreneurs who are done with what everybody else is doing out there on the content creation hamster wheel. So if you're new here, welcome. I'm Jen Scott, a quantum alchemy mentor and business energetic strategist, and I help healers and lightworkers and spiritual entrepreneurs build sold, aligned businesses that actually feel like them, not some recycled copy paste blueprint that worked for Betty down the street but doesn't work for your unique energetic signature, because you didn't come here to blend in. You came here to disrupt. You came here to be felt, to transmit something real, and to build a business that's actually built on you and your energy. All right, so if you've been posting consistently, but it still feels like you're shouting into the void, right? You're hearing crickets, there's a reason. Now, it's not that you need to niche down harder. This is a lot of advice out there, or post more content. Okay, no, 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 no. If your content is carrying the energy of proving and not power, your audience actually feels that. They feel the energy behind your offers, your posting, the way you present yourself, right? So you're not creating from your truth, you're creating from this, will this be received well kind of energy. So you're editing your magic before it even hits the screen. And right there, that's why people can't find you. Okay? They're not looking for perfect. They're not looking for this long 10-step plan. They're looking for someone who feels like an actual mirror. Someone who activates something in them in just one line or one post or one truth they haven't seen anywhere else. Okay? And the only truth that you hold. But if you're still performing in your content or still writing what's likable instead of what's real, your people can't recognize you. Because what you do when you hold back your truth is you scramble your own energy field. Now, here's what I want you to understand. You're not afraid of being seen. You're afraid of being seen and misunderstood, of being too much, of being unliked, of being visible and still not chosen. And I see this all the time. This is where we begin to shrink our energy. We over tweak everything and we tiptoe around our truth. Then you turn your big, powerful, magical medicine into a palatable quote and wonder why it doesn't convert. Okay? So let's get this straight. Your dream client doesn't want polished. She wants permission. She wants someone who goes first. Right? She wants someone who says the things she's afraid to say and who lives the life she's afraid to live. And that only happens when your message starts coming from your own overflow and not this obligation of I have to post because I have to show up every day, right? So this is the part no one talks about in marketing either, is that your voice actually carries its own unique frequency. It holds actual codes, and those codes, when they're fully intact, are what draw the right people straight to you. But most of my clients are posting from burnout, right? Before we start working together, from hypervigilance, or from that nervous system pattern of if I don't stay visible, I'll be forgotten. And that's exactly why the content isn't converting, because it's coming from the survival mode rather than resonance. Now, let's take this deeper. So before you even incarnated here, you made soul contracts. right? Sacred agreements with certain people you're meant to help, to activate, to guide. And so when you silence your truth, when you dilute your message, when you try to sound like everyone else, you're not just playing it safe, you're actually breaking those contracts. You're holding back what someone desperately needs to hear from you. And you're the only person that has those codes for your ideal client. So let me be honest for just a sec because I want to share a story about me. I used to hate selling. Like every time I thought about sharing an offer, this weird, like, ickiness would come up and it felt gross and it felt pushy and I couldn't figure out why because I knew what I had was super powerful. It was creating huge shifts in people, but the idea of selling made my entire body like tense up. And I've seen it so many times in my clients as well, this quiet resistance running in the background. So they're showing up, right? They're being visible, they're doing the right things on paper. But when it comes to actually selling your offer and doing the thing, everything all of a sudden locks up because most of us weren't taught to sell in a way that feels like service. We're taught to pitch and chase and convince, and we've been told to cold DM people. And I just want to share something that shifted everything for me. So, selling, like real selling, is not about trying to get someone to say yes. It's about offering your work with so much clarity and truth that the people who need it can actually find it. So if you're not sharing your offers, you're diluting your message just to sound digestible, right? You're not protecting your audience, you're actually blocking the people you're here to serve. And you're not just avoiding selling, you're also avoiding the very people you made soul contracts with, the ones who are actively looking for you. And when your message is clear, when your energy is clear, and you don't have to sell in the way we've been taught this bro marketing, okay? You're not trying to convince, you're not trying to persuade, you're just trying to make a connection. So what if selling wasn't a performance? What if it was just telling the truth? What if your most aligned clients didn't need to be convinced because your frequency was so clear and so resonant, they felt you before they ever even read your sales page? And that's what real authentic marketing is. It's not how many times should I post this week? It's can your people feel you? And when your nervous system finally feels safe enough to show up like that, everything changes because now your content doesn't feel like a chore anymore, right? It doesn't feel like this weird dance between how do I sound professional, but also not salesy, right? It becomes a transmission. Now you're not pushing, you're not pitching, you're not over explaining, you're just saying, this is what I do. This is how it helps. It's powerful. It's real. There's no pressure in that. Just truth. You're not just selling, you're fulfilling your mission. And this is why intentional content matters so much. And this is actually why I created content that leads, because I got tired of seeing these most powerful, brilliant women posting just random things, random tips, you know, value content, wondering why the plane wasn't landing. And it's not about posting more, it's about posting in a way that carries your real energy. Now, if you want to check out content that sells, it's only $27 and it'll shift how you create forever. I'm going to drop the link in the description box below. All right, so all you need is clarity, you need resonance, you need to say the thing only you can say. All right, so you can grab that in the description box below if you're ready to stop shouting into the void and start being felt. Go grab it. And before I let you go, here's what I want you to sit with before the next video drops is where are you still editing yourself to be liked? Where are you posting to be safe instead of be true? Where are you muting your message because you're scared of what someone might think? Okay, because your ideal client isn't looking for someone who's relatable. She's looking for the one who feels like home, the one who says the thing that hits her right in the heart chakra and unlocks something she forgot she even wanted, right? And that's what happens when you lead with truth. Now, next week, I am showing you how I made $10,000 in 1 week as a healer without daily posting and without burnout, just full energetic alignment. So do please hit like and subscribe and get ready because that next video is going to shift everything. And until then, stop trying to get it right and start saying the only thing you can say because you weren't meant to blend in, you were born to disrupt.